a lot of chicks, hasn't he?
All my exes before him were Christian conservatives. They all kept low body counts. A lot of them were also valuing waiting till marriage.
Okay, here's
so
the
I will say that. So I'm just saying it's fine to have that standard. I'm just saying if
it is a double standard. That's the way it should be.
I'm saying girls don't actually want promiscuous guys. Girls
this is why.
Okay, can I finish?
Women literally live life on easy mode
Oh
when it comes to sexual access. I find it interesting that you mentioned, oh, I was a virgin. Why did you lead with that? Because you understand that your value as a partner is intrinsically tied to your body count. Yeah. That's why you mentioned it.
Myron Gaines absolutely destroys this delusional OF girl who thinks body count doesn't matter, using her own words against her in this explosive debate, as Myron Gaines goes off on this woman for her insane argument while she exposes herself during her emotional rant and gets completely wrecked for it with simple logic. Let's get in.
I'm almost 40 years old. You know what I mean? I'm a high value woman, Myron. But it doesn't.
Are you married?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm married. No, because you guys are all. Shut up, dude.
No.
No. Shut up.
No. You're.
No one's. Shut up, dude.
A 40-year-old woman that's saying she's high value. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Oh, you know what?
40 years old and too holy.
I don't listen to the way that Muslims think about anything, so shut up.
You need the guidance.
No, I think you need the guidance.
You need to stop eating pigs.
I'm on her side.
You clearly eat too much ham.
Wait. Was there,
you eat way too much ham.
A question for me or something?
A question? No.
No, you're saying. No, but we were talking about.
Yeah, I would not be with a girl if she's banging.
I'm just saying.
If it's more than two hands.
All right, let me take this. Let me take this. This is my. Let me.
Seriously, I mean, yeah.
More than 2 bodies is no good for you?
No, more than 10. Like
More
if
than 10.
Now, here's the thing.
No
like,
way.
This is a personal thing with each guy, right? So they all have their number, and that's fine. But what I will say is that most guys are going to have problems with women that have a very promiscuous past. That's just the reality. It's a biological reality.
No, it's not.
So.
What about men? How about women that have a problem with men? It could go both ways, can't it?
You know, it's not. And
Well,
here's
they
the
don't
problem.
because we asked them to, and they said that it was uncapped, right? So
some women don't want to be with men.
Well, there is double standard though, where a guy that has a lot of sex is valuable, and a woman that has a lot of sex.
A man that can have a lot of sex.
Analogy,
Here's the thing.
Oh, that's called
a man. The analogy is, a key that opens many locks is a master key versus a lock that opens any key is a shitty lock. But the reality is that if a man has a lot of sexual partners, he's doing something right, because it's not easy for men to get sexual access. But if a woman has, hold on, let me finish. But if a woman has a lot of sexual partners, she's definitely doing something wrong, because the reality is men must create their value to get sexual access, versus women need to preserve their value, because as soon as they turn 18, they can get any guy that they want. And so if they go ahead and gamble it away and spend their, youth and time being a, it's going to hurt them later on. That's literally the basis as to why we were talking about before her OnlyFans shit is going to up. Despite the fact that she's saying I'm a virgin or whatever, the fact that she does sex work in general does inherently lower her value, because men look for purity. It's one of the most important things we look for when looking for a mate.
Yeah,
now, if you guys don't want to understand biology, that's the reality. Yeah. Yes, it's because
there are rich, ugly guys.
And the reason why you just mentioned a child, that's the primary reason. We must ensure paternity. And before the advent of paternity test, we had to kind of take the woman's word. So the reason why guys have a vested interest in a woman not being a is because if she's not, we know the child's ours.
Yeah,
it's
but girls can say the same thing in reverse, where they don't want a guy with a lot of sexual partners because that's going to divert his resources away from her. So you can make the Evo Psych argument in reverse. Yeah.
Oh, because
was your boyfriend a virgin?
I'm not talking about his sexual history. I'm not going to talk about his sexual history, but I will say prior to him,
a lot of chicks, hasn't he?
All my exes before him were Christian conservatives. They all kept low body counts. A lot of them were also valuing waiting till marriage.
Okay, here's
so I will say that. So I'm just saying it's fine to have that standard. I'm just saying if
it is a double standard. That's the way it should be.
I'm saying girls don't actually want promiscuous guys. Girls
this is why.
Okay, can I finish?
Women literally live life on easy mode when it comes to sexual access. I find it interesting that you mentioned, oh, I was a virgin. Why did you lead with that? Because you understand that your value as a partner is intrinsically tied to your body count. That's why you mentioned it.
No,
now,
because you brought up my boyfriend. And I'm saying the definition of someone who watches their girlfriend get other men. You're saying by your definition, he's obviously not a. If you swipe my V card, you dumbass. That's not why I led with it.
Hold on.
Second of all, women do often care about a guy's promiscuity. Women do care about guys' promiscuity. They suck it up most of the time. Because like the reason I said, you can make the Evo Psych argument in both ways.
Your body count mattered way more to him than his body count matters to you. Because women understand, hey, guys are going to have a body count. It is what it is. If anything, men with higher body counts tend to be attractive because they have social proof, they demonstrate higher value, and they're able to be attractive to other women. Versus on your totem pole, you care more about his status, how he looks, what he does. He's caring about, okay, is this chick a virgin? You literally said, no. I gave him my virginity. What does that imply?
It's funny.
Myron Gaines is exactly spot on. These OF girls want to live in pretend land, but yet exactly like he said, you led with it. So what does that imply? Using simple logic, if it didn't mean anything, you wouldn't have said it to begin with. I mean, this woman wants to think that, it works both ways. It's all the same. Everything's malleable. No, exactly like Myron Gaines said, it's a double standard that, men and women walk very different paths. You always look at rock concerts. She's talking about, oh, well, girls don't like it the same way around. She even mentioned because if he has multiple bodies, that diverts his resources. Like, that doesn't even make sense. If he's only with you, only his resources are going to you. Like, she's making an argument that doesn't even work. And not only that, go to these rock concerts, go to the, big hip hop concerts, whatever like that. It's always a horde of women ready to meet the guy, right? I mean, Gene Simmons has slept with thousands and thousands of women. They all know that, and yet they don't care, and they do it anyway. But it's not the same way around. You don't see female stars with a crap ton of straight guys, waiting to get in, hoping that, they're going to get some action. No, the same thing does not exist on the other side. There is a double standard. It is not the same way. And this woman just wants to pretend like biology and reality just doesn't matter. But then again, I mean, she's probably been dick down so much, she's probably about brain dead from the neck up. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video. And if you want to help support the channel, check out the link in the description and let's get back in.
It's funny because outside this red pill world, most guys find it weird if a girl at my age is a virgin. Like, I lost it at 26. Outside of the red pill,
there's a difference between like virgin and like 50+ bodies that a lot of like men.
I guess my point is like most guys I speak to,
they'll find it weird, but they won't.
It's not about virginity in terms of chastity. It's about not wanting to just get pressured into sexual experiences just because society says you have to, just because they're like, oh well, you're an OnlyFans, so you might as well let it go. I don't subscribe to that. I can still if I want to.
Is there an amount of money you could make that would retire you from your sex work?
If so, I've already made it. So no, I'm going to keep going for a while.
Sir? I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Alad.
Would you rather be Alad?
Right,
shout out to the boys.
Did he say Benjamin Netanyahu? I didn't hear what he just said. Would you rather be with a woman who treats you like shit, who doesn't do anything for you, who's terrible in bed, but has only been with 1 or 2 men in her life? Or would you rather be with someone who has been with 1,000 men, but treats you fantastic, respects you, doesn't cheat on you, and is a loving person? Or what would you rather have?
Answer that question. A loving person. That's not even a good comparison.
Let me
I would say neither. I'd say neither.
Okay, so you can't choose between the two? You're telling me you'd rather have somebody that treats you like shit, maybe, than someone who slept with?
So let me take this. See, here's the thing. I would take the girl that's 1 or 2 bodies, and I'll tell you why.
That treats you like crap.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. As a man, your job. Let me explain. As a man, your job is to turn your woman into basically your follower. She's your assistant. Your job is to make her be useful to you. You're going to come in and train her. Okay,
misogyny.
So let me ask, it's misogyny? Yeah. Okay, so explain to me, why do women want a guy that's taller, makes more money,
not every woman wants that,
dominant, assertive?
In fact, a lot of them don't.
The majority of women, overwhelmingly, look for status.
They want a short, broke guy. That's what they look for in a woman.
The majority of women,
Myron, you're tall, you're single.
Hold on. The overwhelming majority of women wants a guy that's taller, stronger, more competent, and is a leader.
Wait.
That's the truth. It's biology.
Fact. We're not.
That's a fact.
No, it's really.
It's a fact. It's a literal fact.
Every woman has
it's not a fact for you because you're old now. But the reality is, you don't have the same ability to command a higher status guy. That's why you got to call yourself a high value woman.
So, to be fair,
a high value woman is a woman that can get a high value guy to lock her in and take his last name.
So
women get their value from the men that they're with. Men get their value based on what they.
Let me know whether or not you think this entire panel on the right is completely delusional, because you got an OF girl, you got a 40-year-old something woman who thinks that she's a high value, top 10 out of 10, and then you got this soy boy, and they're all living in delusion, literally. Like, they're going to pretend that women don't want all these things. Every poll, everything points to that. They're literally denying reality. Because every poll, every stat, every metric, everything that's ever been researched shows this. Women want to marry up. So someone's taller, stronger, more rich, all that. Like, they just don't want to accept it. They just literally don't want to accept it. These people lie to themselves so bad, and then they just want to project it onto everyone else. But Myron Gaines is exactly spot on. This is the way it works, whether they want to believe it or not. And I'm not going to take advice from the 40-year-old something 10 out of 10 delusional woman who just wants to deny the fact that, no, you're not a 10 out of 10. You're cooked. You've hit the wall. You're done. You're not the thing that you think you are. And the soy boy in the middle, for crying out loud, the analogy that he uses, he's switching the consequences between the two women. The woman who only had two bodies wouldn't be the one who would be more likely to be treating you terribly. No, the woman who had 1,000 bodies, that's the one who would be far and away more likely to be treating you bad. But he just wants to switch those and say, what if? Well, that's not a realistic choice. Like, that doesn't exist. He's asking, basically a unicorn argument, and he wants to take that as a litmus test in order to establish, what preference you have in the sexual dating market. These people have no idea what they're doing. The left has completely cooked all of these people's brains, and now they're just the blind leading the blind. But thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Myron Gaines had to say, completely destroying not only this OF girl, but this entire panel. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.